life's too short to be drinking shitty beer. Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. Today we've got a Kriek beer from Belgium. These beers, if you've never tasted them before, are really good. Kriek beer is a style of beer, and what it is, it's flavoured with airborne yeast. Okay, so that means it's done in the open and it ferments in the open, but instead of hops they use sour Morello cherries. Now you might think that's a bit of a strange thing to add to a beer rather than hops, but there's two reasons they do it. One is obviously for the flavour. Now you get a very, as it said, as they are sour cherries, you do get a sourness to it, but also the sugar that's in the cherries, that also re-ferments as well, and it gives you a really intense flavour. So you don't get the sweetness from the cherries usually, you just get that intense cherry flavour, and I think it's quite nice. Some people might not think it's that great, but I think it's really good. There's quite a few Kriek beers out there. This I don't think I've had before. The best one I've tasted so far is the is it Old Beer Cells? Their Kriek beer. That is great. That really is a fantastic Kriek beer. It's a lambic, and these are all sort of lambic beers. The Kriek beer originates from the Brussels area of Belgium, and it's quite popular over there. It hasn't really caught on over here. You have to search high and low for it. The only place I know that does it is actually Morrison's. They do a Bacchus Kriek, which is really nice. I should get hold of some of that and review that. But anyway, let's get back to this beer. There is the cap. It's just a Brouwerij Boon cap, nice cherry coloured. So what are we getting in the bottle? Yeah, just sourness and cherry, intense cherry flavour. So it's like a sweet and sour beer. So if you've ever had a Berliner Weiss, it's got that sourness to it, but there's a little bit of sweetness in there from the actual cherries that are used in this, even though they are sour cherries, if you can imagine that. But it's lovely, it smells really nice. Let's get into the glass. I'm using one of these so you can see the colour. There's the colour. It looks almost like a wine, a fizzy red wine, if you can imagine that. As I say, it's only 250 centilitres, so you don't get that much in this, but they do others. But they're not cheap. They're about £7.5–8 £8 a bottle. And they've got a cork in them as well. And you can let them ferment in the bottle. There's no, I don't think there's a little bit of sediment in there. I don't know if you can see that. It's quite gloopy compared to the rest of the beer. See that? See that coming out? That's your sediment, that's your yeast at the bottom, and there is a lot of flavour in that. Always pour that out. Do not leave that in the bottle, because you're going to get so much flavour out of that. And of course the yeast is what, I mean, it's important in every beer, but it really does make this beer. Here's the colour. There's virtually no head on that, and that is, it's quite cloudy. Well, I'm saying it's cloudy. It's dark. I don't know whether it's cloudy or not. But let's see what else we get. God, it's just pungent cherry. Pungent sour cherry, if you can imagine that. If you like cherries, you're going to love this. I'm just going to get this down me now. That is amazing. That is a really good one, and you're still getting that cherry, that sour cherry taste. It's just all over. It just dominates this. You're not really getting any other spice or anything like that, or malt or sweet malt or anything like that. You are just getting so much cherry and fruity cherry flavour. Sour cherry. There's a lot of carbonation in that as well, so if I do that, it sort of invigorates the head a little bit. It's lovely. This goes really well with food as well. It goes well with what I find when I go to Brussels, I normally have some quite strong cheese or strong meat, like pickles, so it gives it that tart flavour. This is quite tart as well, but you get the sweetness on this too, which just evens it all out, and it's really good. Really do like this style a bit, and this is a really good example of it. As I say, if you want to try it out, Morrison's do that Bacchus Creek beer, which is good. I can recommend that. I've had that before. I should get a bottle and review it, because yeah, as I say, and my missus loves it as well. She's not a beer fan at all, but if ever we're going to Morrison's, you'll always get a bottle of that, because it's really drinkable, but it doesn't taste artificial. It's some people who or some brewers who do creek beer, they add artificial or concentrate cherry juice in it, which is cheating in my opinion. These haven't, and you can tell by the flavour. It's really good. It's a green bottle. Doesn't need to be in a brown bottle because there's no hops in it, so it's not going to go off. It's not going to get light struck. You're not going to get any skunky flavours out of it. You are just going to get a huge amount of sour cherry in a very drinkable liquid format. So what would I give it? As I say, it's not the best Kriek that I've tried, the best lambic Kriek that I've tried, but it's quite a good representation of it. This is quite intense. The flavours on this are quite intense. You can get even more intense flavours from some of the more obscure or Kriek, or the more expensive Kriek beers. But this isn't bad. I'd say it's a good introduction to it. I would give this a good 7.5 out of 10. Would I recommend it? Yeah, try it. Even if, I mean, it's quite hard to hunt down, but if you can get that, if you see that Bacchus stuff, get that. It's a good eye-opener to some of the funky beers you can get from Belgium. Really worth trying. Recommend it. And New Year's resolution, I'm going to try and cut down on the bad language in my videos. So, I'm going to change the phrase at the end of it. And that phrase is, and remember, beer is working class champagne.